On the night of August 15th, 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio picked up something it had never detected before. A signal, narrowband, powerful, arriving from deep space at exactly the frequency scientists had long theorized an alien civilization might use to make contact. It lasted 72 seconds, the full window the telescope could track that region of sky. Then it was gone. The astronomer who reviewed the data the next morning circled it on the printout and wrote 2 words in the margin: "Wow." That signal has never been detected again. Its origin has never been identified. And after nearly 50 years of searching, science still has no definitive explanation for what it was. This is the WOW signal, and it remains the most significant and most unsettling moment in the history of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. To understand why the WOW signal matters, you need to understand what scientists were looking for and why. Since the late 1950s, researchers involved in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, known as SETI, had been scanning the skies for radio signals that might indicate the presence of intelligent life beyond Earth. The logic was simple. Radio waves travel at the speed of light, pass through space relatively undisturbed, and could be detected across vast distances. If a civilization wanted to announce its existence to the universe, radio was the most logical method, and the most logical frequency, scientists argued, was 1420 MHz, the frequency at which neutral hydrogen naturally emits radiation. Hydrogen is the most common element in the universe. Any civilization advanced enough to build a radio transmitter would almost certainly know about it. The WOW signal arrived at 1420 MHz. It arrived at almost exactly the frequency scientists had theorized an alien transmission would use. That is not a minor detail. That is the detail that has kept researchers talking about this signal for nearly half a century. The Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University was designed to scan large sections of sky continuously, recording data on long paper printouts. Researchers would review those printouts days later, looking for anything unusual in the streams of numbers. On August 15, 1977, the telescope recorded a sequence that stood out immediately. The numbers, which represented signal intensity, rose sharply, peaked, and then fell off in a pattern that matched almost perfectly what a signal from a point source in space would look like as the Earth rotated and the telescope's field of view moved past it. The astronomer Jerry Emin reviewed the printout on August 18th. He circled the sequence and wrote "WOW" in red pen. That annotation gave the signal its name. The signal was 30 times stronger than the background noise of space. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. It was narrowband, meaning it occupied an unusually small slice of the radio spectrum, which is a characteristic of artificial transmissions rather than natural ones. Every property of the signal was consistent with what a transmission from an extraterrestrial intelligence would look like, and then it was gone. The telescope swept past that region of sky and never detected it again. Follow-up searches, dozens of them over decades, have found nothing. Jerry Emin himself was cautious. He said the signal was remarkable, but that a single detection wasn't enough to draw conclusions. He spent years trying to find an alternative explanation. He never found one that fully satisfied him. In the decades since, scientists have proposed several explanations for the WOW signal, none of them fully accepted, none of them fully dismissed. The most common natural explanation involves a comet. In 2016, an astronomer named Antonio Paris proposed that 2 comets, 266P Christensen and P2008 Y2 were in the vicinity of the signal's origin point in 1977. And that hydrogen gas surrounding those comets could have produced a signal at 1420 megahertz. When those comets passed through the same region of sky again in 2016 and 2017, researchers pointed telescopes at them. No signal matching the WOW was detected. The comet theory was not confirmed. A second possibility is that the signal was of human origin, a reflection of Earth's own radio transmissions bouncing off space debris or a satellite. But the frequency used is actually protected by international agreement specifically to keep it clear for radio astronomy. Broadcasting on 1420 MHz from Earth is illegal. A third explanation, the one that SETI researchers are most reluctant to dismiss, is that the signal was exactly what it appeared to be, a transmission from somewhere else, a civilization announcing itself, perhaps not even to us specifically, but into the universe in general. If that's true, the most unsettling question isn't where it came from. It's why it only happened once. Did it stop? Did we miss it? Were we being tested? And did we fail by not responding in time? In 2012, a response was actually sent. A transmission containing Twitter messages from 10,000 people was beamed toward the origin point of the WOW signal. It would take approximately 25 years to arrive, if it's going anywhere at all. We are still waiting. The Big Ear telescope no longer exists. It was demolished in 1998 to make way for a golf course expansion. The only record of the most significant potential contact event in human history is a printout with a 2-word annotation in red pen, now preserved in an archive. Jerry Emmon died without knowing what he had found. The signal has not returned. The sky in the direction of Sagittarius holds its silence. But here is what remains true. For 72 seconds on a night in August 1977, something in deep space sent a signal toward Earth at the exact frequency we had theorized alien life would use. It had every property of an artificial transmission. It came from a direction where no known natural source has ever been identified. And then it stopped. As if whatever sent it realized we weren't ready. Do you think we were alone that night? Leave your answer in the comments. I read every one. Law and shadow. The law runs deep.